Hello, Al Pals! This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends, the film. The 1947 Christmas classic Miracle on 34th Street, which almost was given the title The Big Heart. Thank God they changed their minds. An absolute classic film that forged my view of what Santa looks like. So that is the film tonight. The friends, of course, are the wonderful Troy Pacelli, one of the greatest elves in the world. How are you doing, sir? And what are you drinking?
Well, thank you. I like to think I'm a right jolly old elf, and I am sipping on a what do you call it? A diet cherry Coke.
Oh, Diet Cherry Coke. Oh, I need to get some of that one day. I gotta wait till it's on sale. I am drinking my normal Diet Mountain Dew. I changed it up last night. I added Diet Dr. Pepper, but that's something. Also joining us is the loveliest elf in Santa's workshop. That is Nanette Pacelli of Netters Network. How are you doing, my dear? And what are you drinking this evening?
I'm doing really great. Um, I'm sipping on water.
Oh, just doing the one thing. How are you feeling? I know you were sick last week, I believe, or
Yeah, I had the flu. It turned into a cold, and now it's kind of like the tail end of the cold.
hmm Speaking of flu/cold, I did have another guest host scheduled to join us,
Yeah.
Sierra from Iconicast. She has come down with whatever is going around. She felt horrible this morning and really wanted to do this, but she's kind of in bed, wrapped up, and trying to get better. Please get well, Sierra, and we will see you. And I'm going to get you on. I'm going to get you on the air, Siri, if you're listening. I'm going to get you on air one day again because we had a lot of fun doing Love Actually last year. But yeah, unfortunately, she won't be joining us. But I'll get her on here eventually. Let's check out the chat real quick. Connie Cleary saying, "Evening, everyone. Thank you for being the first one. And why isn't it that working? Oh, that's because I need to put my little cursor over it. That's why." Troy Pacelli, of course, coming in saying good evening and happy holidays. Netter coming in saying hi, giving her hi, sweeties, and the love of her life. Kind of clear. How you still doing, Sir Torrin Clegane? Welcome, sir. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And that's all the people that have stated who they are. So Miracle on 34th Street. I'm not. I think it would be silly to ask if you've seen this film.
Right?
It is my favorite Christmas film.
Yeah.
It is me as well. We were talking earlier in the green room how it used to be on all the time, everywhere you looked between Thanksgiving and Christmas. This seemed to be on every other day or sometimes twice a day. It doesn't seem to, it seems to have gotten a little overlooked the last few years. It's still on, still popular, but not as readily available to some. And in fact, if you want, you got the Cosby link all good to go
Yep.
tonight.
Yep.
Cosby link is pinned at the top. So if you don't have a copy, why wouldn't you have a copy of this? First of all,
Right.
and if you don't, though, we got the Cosby link at the top, and when we start, oh, my voice is getting a little cray cray. But yeah, Miracle on 34th Street. Growing up, Edmund Gwenn was Santa Claus to me, and I was reading some of the background on this film, and Natalie Wood, who I think was 8 years old when she was doing this film, totally convinced that he was Santa Claus. And he had a lot of other people believing it by the time this film was done.
Sure.
Because he was not only was Edmund Gwenn. Like, it looked at the beard was real, but he was such a nice guy that what you see on the screen is kind of like how he really was. He was just this nice, loving, caring soul, and just had no one said a bad word about him. But growing up, that was Santa to me. And I think back in '85, this was one of the first films that they colorized. And I will say, I am not for colorizing film, but this was one of the only colorized films that I was okay with.
Nope, it's gotta be black and white.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I prefer the black and white. But the two most iconic Christmas movies of all time are both black and white. This one and It's a Wonderful Life. They tried to colorize It's a Wonderful Life, and it just took away so much from that film. Mr. Potter is so much better as a black and white villain.
Yeah,
he is just this colorized, peachy looking, old guy. He loses so much of his vile nature.
Yeah, he looks more evil when he's been black and white.
Exactly. But for Miracle on 34th Street, it was kind of cool to see the red Santa suit and things like that. Sometimes you got to pick your films to colorize. So for me, those two films were kind of forged my opinion of colorized films, but I do prefer black and white to just stay black and white. A lot of times it was a choice, so don't be messing with it. So your favorite of all time? Do you remember like when you first came around the film, or?
Yeah, I was a kid, obviously.
Yeah.
But I remember, my mom would put on all these old films. Well, not put them on. She would make sure that we got to watch them. So she'd look through the TV guide, and it's like, oh, this movie's coming out. We have to watch this. And this became my favorite Christmas film because, like you said, Santa is so relatable, so likable. Mm-hmm. He was perfect. And if anyone looks at Troy's icon and my icon,
yep.
Can you figure out that they go together?
Yep.
Just like me and Troy.
John Payne and Maureen O'Hara. Maureen O'Hara is such a... I mean, there are legends, and then there are legends. Right. She is a legend.
Yeah. And Sir Torrin points out, the thing a lot of people don't realize is that actors' makeup was meant to pop for the black and white camera. As a result, when you colorize them, they end up looking like drag queens.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't look right. And but like I said, I remember when I saw this in color, and I was like, at least the only villain in it is Shellhammer, and he's not like super evil vile. He's just a nitwit. So so it really did.
Dumb.
Yeah, he's just he's a comedy villain, whereas Mr. Potter, that black and white, that it just makes his evilness more so for some reason. And the color humanized him, and I don't want him humanized. But in this one, I always thought, Santa's in his red suit finally. Some great background on this film. They released it in, I believe, May, or something. Let me double check that. I know they released it during the summertime, actually June, because they're like, well, more people go to the theater, and they didn't even advertise it as a Christmas movie. They just put out this film, but word got around, and it was still big hit. And by the time Christmas came around, and even more so, it made back like 4 times its budget, which for them that was everything back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I'm looking up. I was looking up something, but the Macy's Day Parade that they filmed was the Macy's parade, And in 1946, at the Macy's Day Parade, they were filming. Edmund Gwenn was the Santa Claus for that parade, and did the
Cool.
whole Macy's um, announcement thing. So it's just really cool that he, it wasn't just done for the movie, like separate, like in another studio or something.
Yeah, like they usually do.
It was, he was Santa that year. So just a great thing. So let's kind of get set up here to start watching. Mine has the fan. Yours starts with a fanfare, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool deal. Let's see.
Before we
anybody
get
else?
started, I want to ask the
yeah.
chat, how do Troy and I sound?
Oh yeah.
We're trying a new microphone setup, and I want to make sure we both sound good.
We want. Yeah, we need feedback on. Hopefully, we're not getting any feedback.
I mean, do we both sound clear? Are we loud enough?
Yeah, Netter got a new mic that's supposed to work well for all the people in the room, kind of a thing. Sir Torrance says we both sound fine. Connie said great so far. So good.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I will say on my end, because I could always hear Troy. Netta always sounded like she was in the back, in the back of the room. But Crystal, well, not Crystal, but totally clear and
Good.
right on cue.
Awesome.
So let's get ready to watch who is basically Santa Claus to little Al when he was growing up. Y'all set to go?
Yep.
Starting at zeros.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1, play. Dun dun. Ba-da,
Yep.
dun.
We're right.
I'm gonna got to find the happy spot in the volume for me so I can hear it, but still hear you.
It's hear each other exactly.
Just such a great fanfare coming in too.
Yeah.
One of the things I liked in this movie too is when he's being the Santa in the store, and he's like, "Oh, go over to this place and you can get it, for less." And it's like, Santa sending people to other stores? Never heard of such a thing. But that's great that you're doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Torgay says, "I love the fact that the vamping before the film allowed him to finish the movie he was watching before the screen started."
Oh, there you go.
What were you hey, you gotta tell. What were you watching? I'd be interested.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I was watching. I've been watching Hallmark for the last 6 hours. Actually, 7 hours. No, 8 hours.
Yeah, I've been doing that at work, where I'll have the Hallmark movies playing, while I'm working, and then I just pause if I get a call or something.
Oh, he was watching Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way, yeah.
So one thing I wanted to point out, it just went by in the credits. Makeup effects done by Ben Nye. You should know that name if you have ever, at Halloween time, gone into a costume shop. Ben Nye Makeup.
Oh, cool. I love the look on his face when they first show him.
That jolly smile, right?
Yeah, it's Santa.
Yeah.
Okay, you're making a mistake. Like he's got a little bit of a snark too.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the guy who's working on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, exactly. So that's interesting. So the reindeer have static antlers apparently, because normally reindeer shed their antlers every year.
Well, it's the magic reindeer. Maybe they just keep them.
Yeah, but it's a something I didn't know before.
That's true. Rain or shine, Macy's Thanksgiving Parade to welcome Santa Claus.
Yeah, but who's going to want to stand in the rain to watch a parade?
You can watch it on TV.
Yeah, today you can. And this was the actual Macy's parade that year.
And you can see the girl behind her is like clearly cold.
She also looks like she's doing the potty dance.
Oh, I made a mistake of saying Shellhammer was the bad guy. Shellhammer is not the bad guy.
Right, right.
Sawyer.
Right.
Sir Torrance said he had to work Thanksgiving when he worked in a kitchen. It was rough.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Try working retail.
Oh, God.
Troy and I had to do that one year.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Actually, when I worked retail, they gave us Thanksgiving and Christmas off.
Nice.
Although Black Friday was hellacious.
Oh, yeah.
Wapoo! I like that whip. It's got the longer...
Yeah. That would be the kind that you would use if you were,
had like a team of...
Yeah, exactly. It's more for the sound than, hurting anything.
Right. Yeah, the guy playing Santa Claus there, he's been in, like, lots of other things.
Hmm.
Let's see if I can find his name. Percy Helton. He's the kind of guy, if you see him,
Yeah.
you kind of know who he is.
I like how she just points at some general
Yeah.
direction, but he knows exactly who to go to.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I think that hat, I'm not a hat guy for women, but that hat works for her.
Oh, it is nice.
It's got to do something to keep warm.
Right,
That's
exactly.
all.
Wake me up when the parade starts.
I love how his little mustache curls.
I know.
Heavy heading.
Oh, a little.
Yeah, little. The one fantastic thing about this film, you totally buy him as Santa Claus.
Right.
They never come out. They don't show him flying or doing anything weird like that. But you're absolutely at the end convinced he is.
Yeah.
They're going to put the guy in his underwear? Take him inside.
Yeah.
No, strip him right there. We don't have time.
So they're going to leave this guy in his underwear out in the cold?
I don't know.
He ain't gonna feel the cold what he's been drinking. See, I like a simple sleigh like that. For years, they had that swan sleigh in the Macy's parade. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, sure.
Not a fan of the swan sleigh. I'm much more traditional.
I'm glad you turned around.
They of course mentioned Macy's and Gimbels.
Yep.
Real companies, and they both needed to watch this movie before they signed off on using their name.
Understandably so.
If either one didn't, they would have had to do massive edits and reshoots.
Yep.
But they both were fine with the portrayal.
I also feel like, well, obviously there was nothing particularly negative about either company. And I think it was a time when there was better goodwill back then. You know?
I mean, they weren't like at
Right.
each other's throat or anything.
Right.
It was just, let's Well, you know,
It was mutually beneficial. We'll both get some notoriety from this.
right. I mean, but each one wants to make money, and you know, so
Right.
if they're doing this, well, we've got to do this to kind of counteract it.
Right.
It's not like, well, they're doing this, so we got to sabotage them. No. Ooh, that's a nice little turkey.
I remember my grandmother, because she used to stuff the bird like that, having to truss it like that.
Now, here's the thing that bothers me about that. She's with Mr. Gailey, the neighbor watching the parade. There's no indication that they know this person.
True.
Well, I get the impression that they do, though.
Yeah.
Well, they do say something about him being a new neighbor. So
yeah, but I think, and
You
plus she could see them for where they were. Yeah, today I can see people going, there's a little pedo vibe going.
Well, yeah, but I think also because the caregiver was right across the way, and, it's
In
just
the
like she's
kitchen
just going
with the
over
door
there to
closed.
be able to see the parade or whatever. It's fine. But you're right. Again, it's another one of those. It was a different time.
Natalie Wood, such a tragic story there. This film actually got some backlash because they had a divorcee as the main character.
Yeah.
Back in the 40s, that was, ooh, I don't know if we should do that.
But at the same time, it was one of those things where I'm sure a lot of people were like, well, whatever. It's something that happens in real life,
Mm-hmm.
See,
And
it
they
sounds
don't
like
go into
Church-
any details about it, so it's not like you can make a judgment about her.
This is the first time Mom is meeting Mr. Gailey.
True.
Because he goes, I'm, Gailey. And she's like, yes, I know. My daughter's been talking about you. So Mother's never met him before.
Yeah, but the housekeeper knows him.
Yeah.
It seems.
Apparently so. And he's a neighbor. There was a different opinion about your neighbors back then.
Yeah,
love
that's
I
true.
love an old-fashioned kitchen.
Right?
I love old-fashioned appliances.
Do not leave that towel on the stove.
It's not on the stove. He was covering the sink.
Oh. It looked like it was across a burner.
But you also noticed that he had the coffee on the range.
Yeah.
I like that you can see Santa right out as he's going by.
Yeah.
I like that little tea set. This is the first time I've ever really noticed the tea set.
Yeah.
It's weird to say, but
Well, when you watch a movie year after year, you
Yeah.
start noticing
You
greater and greater
catch-
details.
you look around more.
Yeah.
Now, are you more like Daly or more like her?
Probably more like Daly.
Yeah, kids need a sense of wonder up to a certain point.
I would say we never outgrow the need for some wonder,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Santa is real, so there's no doubt there.
Exactly. In all seriousness, though, I've always maintained that. What is Santa but a personification of the good spirit of the holiday?
Right.
I love the guilt trip he's laying on here. Oh, I don't need to come to dinner. I'll just make a sandwich. And Locker's like, please, Mom.
I love this. Did I
say
ask
it
right?
I ask right?
It worked. You almost get the impression that even the "Did I ask right" was part of the plan.
Yeah.
She's waving at her daughter, and she can't see her because she's not looking at her.
Right.
Well, maybe peripheral. I think she was trying to get her in the periphery.
Another little detail. As she was playing, she was chewing gum and blowing a bubble, which sets it up for later on that she's someone that chews gum.
Wow, look at all those people.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what really,
Yep.
When I was doing the thumbnail for this, I was trying to find that street sign as a PDF. I could not find it.
Oh.
Alfred. What a great character he is.
I kind of carry my own padding around.
I like this guy.
Right?
Yeah, he is just he is such a happy character, and he's the only one from this film to appear in the remake.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he had a small role. I think he also played a guy named Alfred.
Nice.
I have to go back and look at the other one again and find him, but.
Now, in all fairness, I get the conflict here.
Right.
But even from Santa's point of view, if a child is undecided, isn't it actually a help to the parents if he makes a suggestion?
Give a few ideas.
Yeah.
A lot of bad isms floating around.
That's something.
So he's getting paid to sweep the floor that doesn't need to be swept.
Yeah, he's just sweeping up dust. This kid is a kid who knows what he wants.
And he knows the arguments against it, too.
Yep.
I won't do it in the house, I promise.
And the mom's like, I just told you I can't get one.
And you're, oh boy, here we go.
I like the guy standing between them back there with the hat.
Yeah.
Just looks like a spy or something else. In today's money, close to 100.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, if I remember the what I read.
And honestly, if you think about a toy like that, yeah, if I were to go to Target or whatever, I'd see it going for about 100.
Yeah, something that shoots water.
Yeah. It would probably also have electronics these days.
Okay, and quite frankly, toys back then were built like tanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 850 toy fire engine would be 99.32 in today's money.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that. He's like, what?
Gimbals. I loved his react. I love a character actor who has great reactions.
Right. Because all of his acting is in his face. He doesn't have any lines there.
Yeah. Except for Gimbals.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's how you build customer loyalty.
Exactly.
Yep.
After the customer.
That's customer service.
I think the biggest problem he would have if this was real would not be the situation itself, but so much that, oh, did you come up with this idea? Why didn't you run it past us? You know?
I used to have a hat like the one she's wearing.
A little tie, was it tie under the chin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a great look on her face.
That is impressive.
When they filmed that scene,
Uh-huh.
she didn't know it wasn't a fake beard.
Really? Oh, so in reality she didn't know.
She tugged on his beard, and that reaction, he did that kind of overplayed for her, and her
Sure.
reaction her like cool reaction was real.
Wow.
Ooh, I like that teddy bear.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny and
Yep. Was this a Warner Brothers production?
20th Century Fox.
Interesting.
Let me see. Well, Fox owns it now. Yeah, Fox. Distributed by Fox.
Huh. Actually,
She's very analytical about it.
she is. That's where you have to meet her at. You got to say, yeah, she sees all these gullible children. She's always going to feel like she's, got a leg up. Gives her confidence.
Yeah, and my favorite scene's coming up. I think we.
Oh yeah, with the Dutch girl or whatever.
Yeah, and it is my favorite scene in any Christmas movie.
It's very clever and great heart.
Yeah, I mean, and the one in the remake was also sweet, but there's something about this one
Yeah.
because I mean, who knows Dutch? You are Santa Claus.
Right.
I wonder if that's really Dutch.
Yeah,
It's
it
really
is.
Dutch, but she is American, so it's Dutch with an American accent.
But you gotta give it to any actor that learns their lines in another language, especially
Yeah.
someone as young as her.
And this song is a traditional.
It
version.
is. Yeah, I've heard it before. I mean,
Yeah.
other than here.
Translation: Saint Nicholas, little rascal, put something in my little shoe, put something in my little boot. Thank you, little Saint Nicholas. And their conversation in Dutch, I was trying to find the actual translation, was basically he was telling her, he asked her what she wanted for Christmas. She's like, she already got it. She's got a new family.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I was trying to find the actual translation. I read it earlier.
I almost get a Obi-Wan Kenobi vibe there. He's me.
Yeah. Oh, he'd have been a great Obi-Wan Kenobi back then.
Right?
An employment card.
Yeah. Well, that was before there was computers, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love this. As old as my tongue and a little bit older than my teeth.
Brooks
Next
Memorial
to-
Home for the Aged.
Next of kin, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donder Blitzen.
But even back then, this would have been an HR nightmare,
Yeah.
It's like, wow, nobody vetted this.
Someone typed it.
Yes.
So someone knew something was weird going on.
But whoever did it was doing it just from a clerical aspect, didn't care what was on it.
Yeah, but I like it. She looks at it. She's like, "Oh my god, I've hired a maniac."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the translation. Kris asks her what she wants for Christmas. She says she wants nothing, telling him she got her gift by being adopted by her new mother.
That is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you sharing that, Al, because all these years I never knew that. And that certainly adds something to that scene.
It adds a
lot,
much-
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, just the fact it's like, oh, he knows Dutch is kind of cool, but what she says is
Yeah.
I like how
Makes
all
it
of them
even more
gentlemen
beautiful.
stood and offered
Yup.
her their seat.
And he even does say, I don't approve of you not consulting the advertising department first. Show that reaction from her. What? He did what? The governor and the mayor's wife. Yeah, that makes a difference too.
And that's going to end up being customer loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And all these years, I've always said, if I was treated that way by a store, you better believe they would have my loyalty.
Oh yeah. It's like I don't have it, but I know where you can get it.
I do love that where he goes, we'll put customer ahead of profit, and in the meantime we'll be making more profit.
Right.
a more practical expression of my gratitude.
I bet they make a good amount of money at that job.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, first of all, they live in New York.
And executive level, yeah.
Right.
So Connor says it's funny they
Yeah.
have a Mr. Macy because Macy's brand wasn't owned by the family at the time this movie came out.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was done for the movie. In fact, the character, R.H. Macy,
Uh-huh.
actually died in the 1800s.
Mm.
But it just made sense
The
to have a
movie's only a
Mr.
little
Macy
crazy.
and a Mr. Gimbals.
That's the thing that gets me. They have psychologists on staff.
Probably part of the HR. Someone to talk to if things are getting a little crazy at work. And you can tell that's not a new Santa suit. It's worn around.
Yeah.
It's like he's been wearing that quite a while.
Yeah, you two are a test case. See, and there is the real conflict in the film, right? Because as this story goes, Santa himself begins to doubt,
Right.
right? It's a battle kind of for the soul of Christmas.
One thing a lot of people don't realize about this film, he won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Good.
And the film was nominated for Best Film.
Sir Torrance said, here's a fun fact. Jeff Corey, who plays a reporter in this movie, appeared in an episode of Night Court as a man who believed he was Santa.
Oh, interesting.
I used to like that show.
That seems a little meta. That must have been intentional.
Like his little nervous habit.
Yes, and
Yeah,
that
pulling
is
out his eyebrows.
key. You know, it establishes him right away as being a nervous person. He obviously has his own issues.
Did you get enough sleep? Oh, you bite your nails too. I can see why Sawyer gets all
Yeah.
pissy with him.
Yeah, he's defensive.
Yeah.
It's funny because he's taking the role of the psychologist there. But at the same time, kind of demonstrating that a good psychologist is just someone who's empathetic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts to twirl her eyebrows.
Yeah, that's like that's what I guess working for him does. Too.
Right.
Cedrus Moz, welcome. Hello and Merry Christmas.
Hey, Cedrus. If you want to join us, you got the Cosme link above. You could get, you can see the movie right from where we're at.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
I identify as a dragon.
There you go.
And that's actually a true
Yep.
point.
I've heard of that, yeah.
I think it's Romanovs or something
Mm-hmm.
in LA or out there. It's like he certainly does get a bug up his butt about Kris.
Right, because he's made it personal. He's
Yeah.
being pretty unprofessional. And that's meant to be very clear, I think.
Yeah, very much so. That'd be a great T-shirt. Latent maniacal tendencies.
Yeah.
Although this would be a good band name. Those old style elevators always interest me.
As soon as my wife's blaster.
Bastard, oh, feeling gay.
All right.
Well, I mean, the way he puts it is reasonable, so.
No, I meant she was laughing like Glenda the Good
Oh,
Witch.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
like I think it was, I don't know if it was one of the after parties or something.
Uh-huh.
And after they finished filming, he shaved, and
Oh.
he shows up, and she was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
It freaked her out a little.
That could be caused by other things too.
Imagination.
See, and what he's getting at here is something that's very, very crucial. I mean, if you really talk about the value of imagination, without imagination, you can't have fiction stories, you can't make movies, you can't paint pictures, you know?
Right. I mean, it literally opens up an entire world
Right.
of possibilities and beyond, of course, considering science fiction.
I mean, if you really dig into it, her mother's very extreme perspective isn't necessarily healthy either,
Because even because she's talking about, she didn't get to play with the kids. It's going to affect her socially.
Exactly. That's a good point. You almost wish that, he had said to her, well, you don't think that those children really believed that they were animals, do you? Well, I guess in a way he kind of is getting at that when he explains imagination. He's like, well, okay, I'm not sure Mom's going to like that.
I get a little smile just before he offers. He's like, I have an idea.
Now, a cynical person could look at this and say, well, he's doing this because he's trying to ingratiate himself to Walker here. But at the same time, you also get that he really is a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, and he genuinely likes Kris.
Yeah, well, and it's hard not to, right?
And not only is he ingratiated, but he sees how good Kris is.
Yeah.
For the girl.
Yeah.
I love this.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
Martini. So she's had at least 2 triple strength martinis.
Look at the toothpicks.
Yeah.
1, 2,
oh, yeah,
3,
good point.
4, 5, 6. Wait a minute, it's 4.
And she still has her
Hello. He's got to turn it around for her.
Hello. For the longest time, my friend John used this as his answering machine message thing.
Nice.
I'd love to have Santa Claus stay with us.
What? See, but this is what comes from a child who is so serious, right?
Mhm.
She's concerned about some very adult things in her life.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a B-29.
Right? Oh, now he's getting it.
But that's a big ask for anyone, though. Even
Right.
Santa.
Well, because think about it. Even if Santa just whipped out his pocketbook and paid for a house, there's a lot of other things that need to fall into place, too.
Yeah. I like how she keeps the bubble gum.
Yeah. At least she wraps it up in the wax paper.
It's a pretty little house,
It is.
which actually really exists. Well, the one at the end really exists.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's probably an advert from a magazine advertising a housing development.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where it actually is. Got it somewhere. I like how they're tag teaming them.
Yeah.
Now, a little thing about me
Uh-huh.
when it's cold, like I
Uh-huh.
wake up at night and it's cold, and I kind of pull up the covers, and I always tuck it under my chin. And I always think to myself, cold air helps it grow.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, the house is a 1,703 square foot single family home built in 1943, 24 Derby Road, Port Washington, New York.
Nice.
Looks practically the same now, except that they did add a window in the roof area.
That does require, though, your sales staff to not only know your inventory, but the inventory of your...
That's why they got the sales
Yeah,
ads.
exactly.
Yeah.
Why didn't one of you think of this idea? He's right. That is how it would look, right?
Yep. Yep. Toledo. It's an odd little place with the other
Yeah.
ones in there.
They have X-ray machines at Macy's.
No, probably not, but they probably had distributorship deals.
Yeah, they probably have the resources to get it.
Yeah. If you want to.
Home again, jiggity jig. Jog. I like how he's fascinated by that bubble gum. Hope it was a new piece.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then she wasn't going into that little box, right?
I love the fact they stay on her face.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
It's all in his beard.
Yeah. Didn't think that one through, did you, Chris?
Yeah, I've had it happen to me once or twice. Not too bad though. I like that the milk is in bottles.
Yep. That's a debatable point.
That guy's got some issues.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, yeah, what do you have to be guilty about? Appeal to authority. I didn't know it, but he says I
He
did.
says I did, yeah.
A few things have just come into my head.
That's a big cafeteria.
It
Yeah.
is.
I was thinking the same thing, just as you were saying it too.
He's absolutely right about this, too. He's not a psychiatrist. He's a psychologist. And he has no business practicing the way he is. But he's right. This is a terminating offense. He's practicing in a way he shouldn't be.
Whap!
Yeah, and then he overacts.
Oh yeah, he plays possum and fakes it.
Yeah.
That is a nice little bump that they put
Yeah.
on his head, though. He even what's so great about Sawyer being the bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
Even his voice,
Yeah,
is perfect. It's got that tone of just enough like gets to you.
yep.
Where he tells us,
Yeah, exactly.
there's a lot of old people giving you more than a bump too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and we as an audience know he's being very deceptive here and trying to protect his own job.
Right. Yeah, he has a personal grudge against Kris, period.
Yep.
There's no validity to his viewpoints in this. I mean, did Kris do right by bopping him in the head? Maybe not, but I wanted to bop him in the head too.
Right.
That's just it. He never gets to talk to Macy about
Right.
this. Jamal.
Exactly. See, and this goes back to what I said was the central conflict, right?
Mm-hmm.
He feels his experiments failed, and he just kind of gives up.
Because it could be a year without a Santa Claus.
Oh, right. And you remember who saved the day in that one? Shelley Winters. I mean, Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, it wasn't Shelley Winters though.
It wasn't?
No, it's Oh, now I gotta look it up. out of Santa Claus. Shirley Booth.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, it is sad to see him defeated.
Right.
Like that.
But and as he said before, that Doris and Susan were like a microcosm for the whole world, right? So now he's not just losing faith, in this specific situation. He's losing faith that anybody, can believe in Santa anymore.
Right. But he should take hope in someone like Fred here. He's got a lot of people who love him, and
True.
He was so close.
True, but let's face it, when you're feeling hurt, sometimes it's hard to take all that into consideration.
The wounded animal sometimes just wants to go away and lick his
right.
Butt.
See, and he hit exactly that.
Calvin Coolidge, the first president.
I'll just go back and go, okay, I was kidding around. First president, George Washington. What was those other questions?
Well, but the problem is that now that he's in the system, it's not just the questions on that test. It's just like before. He's identified himself as Kris Kringle and, all this other stuff that goes into it.
He dropped a guy in the head, which, I'm surprised the cops didn't get involved in all of this.
Here you go. Now he's still in trouble.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you had no right to have him committed.
Yep.
You went totally out of your jurisdiction on this. You get him back or you're sacked.
Alleged mentally ill person. The great Gene Lockhart.
Yep.
The father of June Lockhart, grandfather of Anne Lockhart.
Some due diligence here.
And the district attorney here, Thomas Mara, was based on Thomas Dewey. The one who was
Really?
president, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that name. Who's Thomas Dewey?
Dewey beats Truman.
Oh, that Dewey.
Yeah. He had a similar look and demeanor, and they just kind of based it on him.
Now, Al, I don't know if it was you that I was talking to previously about this or if it was Nanette, but I would love to dig into the law on this at the time in New York, because there are very specific laws about when you can commit somebody. And they mentioned it earlier, that whole thing about, is he really a danger to himself and others?
Right.
I tried. He's a lawyer.
Yep.
I'd forgotten that.
He just made things worse.
Yeah, he did. Well, for himself, yeah.
Yep. Twisting that eyebrow, buddy.
Oh, that's a good point. The public knows him as the Santa that, you know, was
Kris
behind the
Kringle,
whole...
crazy court case coming. Calamity cried kitties. I love that.
It's Krusty's Comedy Classics. The old cake. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Now, as a lover of alliteration, you know, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That headline.
And
Fred Mertz.
what's his name? Who played Fred Mertz here?
William Frawley.
William Frawley. Thank you. Very much the low key, you know, indirect hero of this movie.
Uh-huh. He kept...
Isn't that
He's
Fred
he's
Mertz?
not a good-hearted guy. He's not doing it for you know any altruistic reasons, but it just so happens that politically speaking, this is a great scene. This is so important because it really does drive home the why this is important.
Right.
Yeah, see what I mean? And this is your own family.
Yeah. Now think about the voters. And
Yeah, the voters, exactly.
Yeah. No smoking.
And that's fine. You tamp it out, but you don't throw it away.
Yep. You a cigar smoker?
Used to be.
Recently? I always thought about taking up the pipe, but I don't know.
Used to smoke a pipe too.
I always like, you should be Hyde. I like
Yeah.
when he says that, Hyde.
Well, New York, yeah, that would
Yep.
be appropriate.
I do love Gene Lockhart though.
Yep.
He's a great actor. Played Bob Cratchit in one of the Christmas carols.
Oh, okay.
Great answer.
Right.
This is where it's going to decide. Like their whole case is simply him saying,
Admitting that he was Santa Claus, yeah. And this is why I said I think it's so important. If the criteria is whether or not he's dangerous, then that would not be enough.
right.
There was no evidence produced in court.
Plus, well, I love Gailey's way he takes this on, as he's about to state here.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it'd be crazy if one of us thought we were Santa Claus.
Right.
But
It is a good logical argument.
uh-huh.
That look! He's like, oh no, what?
Wait, what? And I like the district attorney. He's crazy too.
And look at, yeah, he's like, okay, now you got yourself a problem.
Yeah, he's flustered now.
Good, good. Well, he's got a point there too. Now I've talked with my buddy Kris. He's an attorney about this, and he goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, "It's very common when you run afoul of the partners at your firm. You quit, you start your own firm. That's how firms get started."
Yep. But I love what Gailey said there. He's like, I can't let Kris down. I can't let Kris down. So I think it's like he needs me, and we all need him.
Exactly. He is speaking with his heart, but he's also very engaged logically.
Right. He knows how important this man is, and the issue of the belief
Yep.
in something greater than what should logically exist. And in fact,
Right.
they have a line later on. I put it in the opening. It's like faith is believing in something when common sense tells you not to, or something.
Yeah, exactly.
She has a great pissed off face.
Yes, she does.
Oh, and when Maureen O'Hara gets angry in a film role, it is perfect.
She is the complete embodiment of that line, you know you're beautiful when you're angry.
Yeah.
Clever mother, not in front of the boy.
Yeah.
Another perfect example of general public's reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
competent doctors. That's debatable.
Yeah.
Well, that, because he knows that it's, you know,
His job is on the line, yes.
yeah.
You know, it kind of makes me think of you remember Star Trek: The Next Generation, Measure of a Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Riker is forced to take on the prosecution that he doesn't believe in, but he has to do it to the best of his ability for there to be a fair trial. That's really what a good DA is.
Right.
Okay, it's not your turn.
You're right. The judge very well could have said something, but I love that. The first reaction was, how is this going to look? His second reaction was, the
He's
kids,
seen-
you know?
He has seen the
And his
effect.
eyes actually twinkle.
Yes. Which indicates to me that this big, important executive, right, actually is being affected by this whole Christmas thing, you know?
Oh, he just fired Sawyer.
Yep. And from Macy's point of view, you've created all of this problem for me. You are fired. Yeah, I could see that. I like it.
And you can't demand anything. You're not the judge.
Oh, Whisker Puss.
See, I don't care what you do with the whole whisker puss.
I like William Frawley had that great gruff
Yeah.
New Yorker kind of thing.
I like how he just changed his tactics here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before they joined forces.
Yeah. Yep. I love this. I love that. So in other words, nope, only one.
Because the district attorney is a Republican.
Right. He figures it out. I know how I'm going to handle this.
I like it.
Yeah, he's like, highest authority available. He's got a point. Yes. He's crazy too. And for him to, and here, she holds up the summons, the subpoena.
Yeah. Daddy.
Hello, Daddy.
Yeah, the DA's got a hot looking wife too.
Yep. And he just sent him on a Westlaw book. Especially in court. Overruled.
I love how he says it.
Well, yeah. No, of course not. And the look on his wife's face, it's like, and I told you last night I didn't want any of this to affect our son. And he waits till they leave the courtroom. That's also reasonable. Yep.
Yeah, the authoritative proof is like this one thing to say, yeah, I'm Santa Claus, and there is a Santa Claus, but is that really you? Makes you wonder, does he have an ID that says...
Well, exactly. And if he was listed as Kris Kringle at the home that he was at, wouldn't that in and of itself merit identity? And see, there's the turning point.
Yeah. It's like whether she believes that he is actually Santa Claus or not, she believes in the magic of the possibility.
Exactly.
Wow, she's got nice handwriting.
She can't spell believe. It's got two E's. Believe. I love that little smile.
Yeah. And see, and then if you go back to what she was saying before, I don't believe in telling a child anything that isn't true. For her to sign this, right? She's either a hypocrite or she really does believe.
Yeah.
Not full on she believes in Santa, but, you know.
And that becomes important later.
Yep. Huh.
And you know who that is?
No.
Jack Albertson.
Where do I know that name from?
Grandpa Joe.
Oh, right. Oh my gosh, he was young.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear the voice now, yes.
Yep.
He throws him a kiss, like, oh, you're brilliant. Jingle all the way.
I always love finding actors who are popular
Yeah.
before they were popular.
There's a lightsaber. I'm serious.
Yeah, that's the Graflex
Graflex.
thing.
Yep.
Graphics, yeah. One of these days I'll find me one. I want a real lightsaber. Well, I'm not a real, you know what I mean. The one that, like, you turn on and it goes...
Yeah. I like the postman. It's like, he's like, well, what am I supposed to
Oh,
do?
it's big. Oh. I'm surprised they're having a trial on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you're right. The way they run courts these days. Long lunches, early days.
Yeah. And for a hearing, that's a lot of people. And we were talking about this earlier. What makes this scene much more effective than the 60s? There was a 60s version or early 70s with Sebastian Cabot,
Right.
where this scene was done with no one in an audience. It was just them at a table, and it just doesn't have the same emotional impact. Like, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, at him.
Well, no one can say that he's not being fair and giving him an opportunity. I love this. There's a little bit of theater here, right? Put them here on my desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Your Honor, okay.
You asked for it.
He just turns and goes, bring them. These guys are so glad to get rid of him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 bags of mail.
I remember touting those things around, too, when I used to work in a mailroom.
Ugh.
They're heavy.
They used leather bags, didn't they? Or
They're
they
canvas.
canvas, yeah.
I love this. Okay. There you go. And from his point of view, okay, he found a way out.
Yep.
He's like, good on you. You figured out a way to get out of it. You're good.
That's a sweet little moment.
Right?
I like how he has that little, like, yeah, I'm glad he won kind of feel.
Well, you get the impression of the judge, he doesn't want to be a bad guy, right?
Nah,
He's honest.
Yep, he has work to do.
Yep. There's probably that little nagging thought in her mind, though. Oh, where's he going to spend his Christmas Eve then?
Yeah.
You know? Look at those icicles. That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
That is a big tree.
Yeah. Okay, I've all these years wondered. She runs to the tree. She's looking for a gift. What did she expect to find? The house squished into a little box?
Well, no, I mean, she explains what she expected to find.
Oh, okay.
I love this.
Yeah.
His X-ray machine. With a bow on it.
Yup. Personally and professionally. I see what you're saying. Yeah, good point.
You can see the hurt in her eyes.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. That's great for an 8-year-old actor.
Right.
To be able to display that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda, yeah.
I thought so.
Well, if she's being logical, she can't argue it. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's not just getting the house, it's lining things up.
Yep.
I love that he takes the hat off and you see the...
All the things connected.
Yeah.
He makes a good looking Santa, though.
He does. It was actually a really good beard.
Yeah. Evelyn Hampton.
Hey, Evelyn.
Hi.
Well, actually, yeah, we're literally at the end. They're coming up to the house.
I love that car.
Right?
And it's a pretty little house.
It is. Great little neighborhood.
I like that stonework.
Yep. I remember when stones used to have that little bit of glitter in them, you know?
Yeah.
Ah! That look!
Yeah. It's like...
Wait, you said that?
A nice house.
There is a swing. Yeah. Yup. How could you not kiss her after that, right?
Yeah.
And pride.
Ding. Love this moment.
Yup.
So not only is it the cane, but it's by the fireplace.
Yep.
It's such a wonderful thing after all.
Do you realize the cognitive dissonance they both have to be having there? Because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I believed he was a nice man and, you know, the Christmas spirit and the whole thing. But now they're going, but what if he really, really, really is Santa Claus? You know?
Yeah,
Right.
like he's like, I legally proved it. Maybe what I did wasn't all that special
Because he really is Santa Claus, yeah.
Well, folks, oh God, see, it's Christmas now. I've seen Miracle.
Right?
It's just such a beautiful. It's a beautiful story. It's a simple story with great actors that got along while they were filming. There's no drama. There was lots of love and happiness, and you could see it in the film.
Yeah.
I'm sure even Sawyer was a nice guy in real life, twisting his little eyebrow.
And you know what? That's so true. I think a lot of times when you get wrapped up in a movie, you tend to forget these are actors.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes, sometimes the villains were nice people. You know, you hear things like about Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, what wonderful people they were. Margaret Hamilton, right? How sweet they were behind the scenes, but they played these villains, you know?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here reading about him, seeing if they had any more stuff on him. Nah, he passed.
Yeah,
away.
I mean, I don't think there's anyone left from this movie.
No, the last person that they said, the last person that was involved in the film just passed away. Well, was the one who played Alfred.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Everyone else had passed away. As far as the major ones, I'm not sure about like the little kid who played Tommy. I don't know about him, but
Or like the little Dutch girl or whatever.
yeah, the little Dutch girl. But of the major players, of it,
Yeah.
he was. But yeah, I mean, there was always, growing up, there was always what is the best Christmas movie? And it was always between Miracle on 34th Street or It's a Wonderful Life. For me, it's Miracle on 34th Street because it doesn't take as long to watch.
Well, there's that, and you could always argue with me that, I mean, is It's a Wonderful Life really, really, truly a Christmas movie? You know,
It is very much a Christmas movie.
I think this
But
is more a Christmas movie, though, if we're gonna like put levels on it.
Top to bottom, it's a Christmas movie. I mean, it starts.
But if you told me that if you wanted to make an argument that It's a Wonderful Life is a New Year's movie, I'd be hard pressed to argue against that. You know what I'm saying?
New Year's?
Sure, Old Lang Syne. You know, the whole thing.
It takes place at Christmas, though.
Well, but most of the movie takes place throughout the year. Actually, throughout the man's life. It's more a personal drama than anything.
No, I was just saying, the New Year's thing. I was like, they do say Old Lang Syne, but I do believe it's Christmas. But yeah, I mean, literally more than half of the film is just background information on. But I think that a lot of people say it's a Christmas movie if for no other. You're right. The content, there's a lot of Christmas there, but also because it was always played at Christmas, and then there was that long period of time where it was on 24 hours a day on multiple channels at Christmas. So if it wasn't a Christmas movie, it certainly became ingrained in people's minds as part of their Christmas tradition. So I would hold that it's very much a Christmas movie because at the beginning it's Christmas time.
I agree.
Everyone's praying for I can't think of his name all of a sudden.
George Bailey.
George Bailey, thank you. Couldn't get Potter out of my head. They're praying for George Bailey, and that's when they bring in the angels and you get all the background. But then the main storyline takes place, I think, Christmas Eve, isn't it?
No, I think so. I think you're right, and I could even make the argument that the whole
film
crux, right, is a kind of a Christmas miracle in a way, right?
Right. Which
I'm not saying it's not a Christmas movie.
Oh no, which defines what a Christmas movie to me is. It has
that's fair. That's fair.
Spirit of Christmas. It is the it's a miracle. It's the magic. It's the feeling of it's much more. And I know we have this whole Die Hard thing. And
you're right. It is definitely more a Christmas movie than Die Hard. You're right.
I very much I overplay that just for fun, but I don't think it's a Christmas movie. It's a movie takes place at Christmas, which I have no problem with people watching it at Christmas. Right. It's just that it doesn't have that. I mean, the best argument, if anyone wants to argue with me about Die Hard, the best argument, and no one ever really touches on it that much, it's the final song. It's a Christmas. The credits song is a Christmas song.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's the best evidence. But
good one.
Not enough to sway me.
Good one. Well, let's be honest here, though. The only reason I'm equivocating on this is because I don't want to choose between "It's a Wonderful Life" and "Miracle on 34th Street." That's what it really comes down to, Al.
For me, it's like Hallmark. You just turn it on, watch it, and enjoy the warm fuzzies it gives you. And that's what this does. It's a Wonderful Life. Watching Rudolph, watching Charlie Brown Christmas, all of those, there's a magic to it that it's hard to quantify or rank or anything like that. They're just they're a package deal. It's like, oh, this is the best. Like, no, I've got a bucket and I'm putting in everything. And
I agree with you on that, and I think that, like we were talking about through this movie, right? This thing of there's this dichotomy of what it means to believe in Santa Claus, right? I mean, you made kind of a half joke about, but there really is a Santa Claus, and I said there absolutely is. It comes down to what this movie is saying. There is the literal Santa Claus and the fairy tale and the magic, and there is the far more substantial reality of what the spirit of the holiday is.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, there's nobody that can say that that doesn't exist, right? That's
Right.
an absolute real thing. It's not something that you can, hold in your hands, as a physical object, but it's tangibly real.
It's like we will it into existence.
Yeah, it's part of our existence. It's part of our experience. It's part of our life, really. And your beliefs are very much a reality to you, and they shape who you are. Mm-hmm. Every Christmas, I'm coming up on my 51st, 52nd Christmas, and every one that came before this helped shape the person that I am today.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about traditions and so on and so forth.
And speaking of traditions, in 2 weeks, we are watching yet another classic Christmas film that I love, definitely belongs in this. It is the 1951, I believe, version of A Christmas Carol. It's also called Scrooge in some context. It is the one with Alistair Sims, who plays Ebenezer Scrooge. It is the best version of A Christmas Carol out there ever done. He is, to me, the definitive Ebenezer Scrooge. And that's what we're going to be watching on the 18th. That night's going to be a very busy night, by the way, because earlier in the night, the Birdman is planning to get people access to a live Houston concert, Christmas concert, symphony, and to play that. And so it'd be a great lead in to watching Christmas Carol. There may be some run over one way or the other, but the Birdman and I have talked, and we're both cool with each other. I'm not gonna, because it's a great opportunity. His will be available for, I think, 24 hours. Mine will be available as long as YouTube is alive and well and no one deletes anything. So it'll be a great Christmas night. That is the 18th. Whatever that Saturday is.
Well, actually, you know what? I can look right now. Today's the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th. Is that right?
Is it the 17th? I thought it was another date.
Well, next week is the 10th, and then after that is the 17th.
Oh man, I might have put a wrong date on something.
You know what? Let me go to his channel and double check.
Yeah, it's the 17th. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, there you go.
I think wow, maybe his is the 8th. We'll figure it out. It may not. It may be a different night. Because I've screwed up. For some reason, I thought mine was on a different night. Let me check something. No, yeah, mine's the 17th. We'll get it figured out. Either way, Saturday night, 10 o'clock on the 17th, Christmas Carol. For some reason, I had 18th in my head. I believe his is going to be the 18th, which should be Sunday night.
No, it is the 17th. I've got it right here. In fact, I'm going to drop the link to it in the chat.
Oh, to his concert?
Yep.
Okay, it's 17th. I thought
it is the 17th. You were right.
I was confused, confuzzed. It's been a long day. Actually,
there you go.
Not really, but. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a very Christmassy night, Christmas Carol, and then Christmas music before that. Hope everybody can enjoy everything that night. It'll be a lot of fun. But that's 2 weeks from tonight. Next week, I believe we're going to be celebrating a certain person's birthday. I don't think is it on that night, or is it around?
No, my birthday's the 11th.
Right.
The 11th. So the night before her birthday.
Yep.
We are going to be watching
a birthday classic.
Kinda. From a certain point of view.
Yeah. So we're going to be watching Liar, Liar, which is based on a birthday wish.
Yep.
Yep. So a week from tonight, Liar.
Another courtroom film.
Very true. I didn't even think about that. You're right.
I didn't until just now myself.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's a good movie. I like that movie.
Yep.
I try to ignore the fact that Jim Carrey went crazy, and but that's another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, before that, there's a lot of stuff going on. Tomorrow night, I believe the Geeky Geezers are going to be on.
Yep.
The Boomers channel.
Absolutely. A lot of Disney news, a lot of Warner Brothers news. I think there's some gaming news. And of course, we're going to have yet another. I didn't say anything. I was hoping not to jinx it.
I'm not blaming you for this one.
It's not my fault. I didn't even realize it until somebody else told me. Yeah, Christine McVie of Fleetwood Mac. This one, yeah. I said the only thing that
Also,
this one's bad.
Also, I don't know the name, but one of the guys who was in Die Hard passed away. Yeah,
I saw that too. I don't know him.
I think he was the guy who was like trying to open the safe.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so I mean, he wasn't like a named actor, but if you're a Die Hard fan, you know who he was. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of trailers dropping, stuff out there, kind of iffy. Willow, which I watched the first 2 episodes, and yeah, it's woke as hell. But
you're gonna be doing a review on it.
When it's over.
I was gonna say, usually you wait until a series like that is over before you do a review. So.
But I may do a ramble sometime this week, and kind of just touch on what things that are going on. But yeah, I'm very sad that they kind of took weird.
I did not know Al Strobel passed. Oh man.
Who's that?
Mike, the one-armed man from Twin Peaks. Yeah.
Oh, no. I never watched Twin Peaks, so.
Yeah. I was a huge Twin Peaks fan. That one, that's kind of sad. He was a nice guy. Thanks for letting me know, though, Sir Torn. I'll at least mention it. But I'm probably going to be focusing on Christine McVie for sure.
Yeah, that was a huge loss this week.
And I'm telling you, I'll hear this and I'll be like, no, that can't be. And then I look and I see people's ages and I go, oh, yeah.
I get on Twitter, if I see a name, you see a name at the trending and you're like,
oh, yeah, right?
Like anytime I see William Shatner, I like go, it's like.
I'm at the point, Al, and I hate to say this, but I'm at the point where I feel like when you see somebody trending, there's no possible good reason, right? Either they died or they said something inflammatory to piss everyone off.
I'm sorry, but Alyssa Milano.
Oh, gosh. She just needs to shut the hell up.
That one, like, especially that one guy's like, Volkswagen was literally created by Nazis.
Yeah, it's like,
you're a wackadoo.
Yeah, all the lot of them are. I mean, they don't get it. Sadly, but that was a classic.
You're absolutely right.
Geeky Geezers tomorrow night at 9. Monday 9:30. Sound Engraver. Tuesday.
Well, wait a minute. Monday we also have.
And Monday the Batman show with Birdman.
And in fact, I'll even drop the link. Oh,
they're doing.
Didn't grab the link.
They're going to be talking Christmas movie music, I believe, is their topic this week. And
that's good stuff.
Yeah, they have a good show. Tuesday, is that the night Matchstick does something?
Yes, this Tuesday. In fact, not only is, and he doesn't have a link up, so I can't share it yet. But Mr. Matchstick, Aged Boomer, and myself, I don't know if there will be another guest, we'll be talking about season 1 of the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s. I'd never seen it before, but obviously I had to watch it, as homework for this, and it's pretty good. And I'm going to be talking about it from the point of view of someone who read the comics that those were based on. And
Well,
I
cool.
think even Mr. Matchstick will be even a little surprised by how closely they held to the source material on that.
Cool. So that's it. Wednesday on Soundtracks with Birdman. They are. I forget what film they're doing.
Yeah, he doesn't have a link up for that, so I couldn't look to see.
I do know, of course, Boomer's with him, and I think they're having Retro Reels is joining him for that one. They said what film it was, and I cannot remember to save my soul what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, check. I mean, it's always fun. It's always fun to listen to that show. We had a lot of fun the other night doing Jingle All the Way. Which is a really bad film, but it's a fun bad film. It's fun to make fun of a film when you're with a bunch of friends. But I'm not sure which was it. I don't think it was Clint. Was it? No, one of Clint Eastwood. Or one of the. Dang it! I remember he said something, but I can't remember what film it was. Just stay tuned.
Yeah.
It's always a fun show. Thursday.
I don't know of
Nothing?
anything. No.
Okay, Friday.
Friday is a very special 1 hour earlier installment of Friday Night Last Call. It is our Hurricane Ian special. We will be, where my guest will be, of course, Aged Boomer. He will be telling us about his harrowing adventure with Hurricane Ian, how heroic he was in defending the municipality and overseeing people in the shelter where he was at. And we will also have Emmy Award meteorologist Katie Nicolau to do all the science-y talk about Hurricane Ian.
That is cool.
Yep.
She is a bright ray of sunshine. Now based in Michigan, I believe.
Now she's and I don't remember which network, but or which studio as what do you call it, station. But I will find out, and that'll be part of the promotion for next week. And but again, that's going to be 8:00 Central, 9 Eastern, specifically in because Katie Nicolau has to get up at like dark early for her job, so we want to accommodate her as best we can. So special early time for Friday Night Last Call next week.
I was watching the end of the stream the other night to see if I could find where he said what film it was that they're watching on Wednesday. Just stay tuned.
Right, because Aged Boomer is usually the one that knows, right?
Yeah, and if Boomer were awake and watching this, we'd all know what film it is, but no.
And I gotta say too, my guest yesterday.
And if my brain wasn't shocked, I could remember what it was too.
Well, and if my guest and I hadn't had so much to drink last, in fact, he sent me a note today, and he's like, "Wow," he says, "I got pretty wasted last night." I said, "Yeah, me too." He's like, "I thought we'd go like for an hour, hour and a half tops. We went over 2 hours." I'm like, "Yup." He said, and I was sipping the whole time. I'm like, well, yeah, that's kind of how Last Call goes.
Last call for alcohol. Sorry.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
But yeah, like I said, we God, man, I cannot. November went so fast.
Yeah.
Already into December.
We're already going into the
going
end
into
of the year.
Yeah, wow, just just sliding by fast.
Do you have any other reviews coming up in the near future, Al?
I will, just not sure what it's going to be. I will say just a little preview of some stuff I've been watching. I saw the Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell movie Spirited, which I must say was a pleasant surprise. I really did enjoy that. I probably will eventually do Willow when it finishes this run. I am not happy so far. because it is woke and it didn't need to be, and they're kind of trashing Mad Mardigan, but that could change. There's some mystery surrounding what's going on there. So we'll wait and see.
You think it's a misdirect? Like maybe they're being negative and
possibly there's something happened that they're discussing, and so we're hopefully that it's not a bad thing that happened to him.
Sure.
But
well, I mean, whatever they do, they have to accommodate, the actor not being able to come back or in some very diminished capacity, right? So.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's one thing. They're addressing him. They're not
sure
having him in there. And I saw a film that had been kind of floating in ether for years called 5/25/77, which is about a young kid who is absolutely crazy to see Star Wars on the first day when it came out. They finally released it. It's amazing. It's been in the can for a long time. It has some flaws, but it's fun if you're a big Star Wars fan or special effects fan. It's a fun watch. So
I'm kind of imagining it's probably also really good for those of us that lived through that and remember when Star Wars first came out.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun things. There's this one scene where he's like arguing with this girl. He's like, "Yeah, well, they had the Death Star. The Death Star could blow up the Enterprise really easy." And the one girl goes, "Enterprise has deflector shields." It's just this really fun little game. I'm like,
you know what? That's a good point, right? Because even in Star Wars, they had planetary shields and whatnot. So
yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool. But it's this kid who loves the making of movies. That's just fascinated with special effects and doing things, and he sees the world in a different way. And a
lot of people in Hollywood today say that it was Star Wars that inspired them to go into the industry in the first place.
And that's what this guy. It's actually based on a guy who has filmed other films.
There you go.
I mean, he's a known guy. I mean, the guy who directed this film that's based on him. He did it, and he's done some other films too. So yeah, it's kind of like his pseudo biography. It's a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to seeing it for forever, and it finally gave us access to it. And I got a recommendation from Fan Man for a film called Crabs. Now, being from Maryland, you gotta watch me a film called Crabs. So that's a horror film, radioactive stuff going on, I believe. So I'm gonna watch that.
What do you have any idea if the radioactive makes giant crabs or something?
Don't know yet. Gonna watch and see. I'm hoping to get a version of Violet Night because I really want to see that. Oh, and Cocaine Bear.
I saw that. You were the first person I thought of when I saw that.
I have a reason to live to February. I have to see Cocaine Bear. It's just me written all over that movie. It's a me kind of movie. But that's in the future. But yeah, there'll be some stuff coming out. I just got to get around to finally doing it. But I hope everyone had a fun time here. Just a great movie. I hope everyone is having a great holiday season. I love that all the Owl Pals show up and watch these films with us. It's just so great to share these experiences with us. It's fun to watch a movie alone, but it's better to watch it with friends.
Right.
Anybody got some final words, sentiments, Starkey remarks?
Well, you know what I always say.
Yep. Well,
we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all good and fun, and we have a lot of fun doing it. But it's so much more fun when you guys are with us, dropping comments in the chat, trivia, what have you. Because it's more like we're all in the same room together and not separated by miles. You're not just friends for us, you're family too. We love you guys, and we're grateful you're here with us.
I was telling Al before the show that, we have all these movies, the physical media and everything, and because we can watch these movies anytime we want, we tend to not bother. And so if it weren't for something like this, Films with Friends or Netter's Retro Cinema, it's scheduled in. So we definitely are going to see this. And because Al got us together, we got to see Miracle on 34th Street again. So I really, really appreciate it, Al. Thanks so much.
Oh, and 52577 was directed by Patrick Reed Johnson, who has directed Spaced Invaders, Angus, Baby's Day Out, The Genesis Code, and of course 52566.
Cool.
And it's got Spielberg's a character in it, as is John Dykstra, as they were filming Close Encounters in Star Wars. It's really fun. It takes a while to get there, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, I'll be looking forward to your review.
So I hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday and just keep that holiday spirit going. We definitely need it this time of year more than ever, it seems. So take care. God bless you. And thanks for joining us.
Bye, all.
Good night, everyone.